Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. It's Hair to Stay by Ms.E. Now I know you guys are saying that this looks like the same introduction that you saw on the last two videos, but trust me, this is not the same exact video. It is the same wig, but I've done much more to it. In this video, I'm going to show you how I cut and colored this wig and how I darkened the roots. Parts 1 and 2, you got to go ahead and watch them if you have not watched it, but this is part 3. I'm going to show you the cut and color. So if you're interested in seeing that, you got to keep watching. So right here, I parted the hair into 3 sections in the front, and I've already clipped off a section in the top right here, and this is what we're going to start cutting with first. But we're going to go ahead and just clip this long piece off, and we're going to get that later on. I did forget to pull this little strings that you see on the right side, but I'm going to go back and get that later. So right now, I'm just going to focus on cutting this section at a time. You want to put it into sections so that you can cut it without, getting, all the hair getting in the way. So right now I'm holding the hair up and I'm just slide cutting it with my razor. This is going to give it a nice wispy, free-flowing effect, and we're just holding it out straight and slide cutting it with the razor. You want to just focus on one section at a time so that you don't get overwhelmed, especially when there's a lot of hair. You want to just focus on doing one section at a time. So right here, I am going and cutting, just kind of putting some layers on the longer pieces of the hair. We're going to come back, circle back around and blend everything together. But right now I am cutting layers on the sides of the long pieces of the hair. As you can see, the mullet has already started to form, and I'm going to take this back section and I'm going to use it as a guide to connect the side. Right here I am parting off my sideburns. I'll come back and get that later. I'm going to make that V shape, and I'm just go ahead and clip those sideburns off and come back and do those sideburns later. But right now I'm going to connect the back piece that I've already cut, the upper crown. I'm going to connect that piece with the side, and I'm going to cut it the same length, just going to hold it out and slide cut it. It's fairly simple. If you have to go ahead and rewind it and rewatch it in order to get this cut, then please feel free to do so. But just holding it out and cutting it even with the back section, the top crown in the back section. If you have not already watched parts 1 and 2, please go ahead and do so. That is where I constructed the entire wig, how I did the cut lace method, and this is cutting and coloring. This video is of cutting and coloring. This is part 3. So I am going ahead right here and making my sideburns. I'm going to make them a lot longer than what I normally would, just in case I just want to adjust them later on. You don't want to cut them too short, because once they're short you cannot add any hair back on, of course. So we just want to make sure we cut them just a little bit longer, just in case we're going to go back and make that adjustment. So I'm going to the other side. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and part off, make a V parting, and I'm going to part off that sideburn, and I'm going to come back and circle back around and get that later after I cut this side section. I'm cutting it even with the back. Go ahead and just clip that off real quick, and then I'm going to cut this side section even with the back. As you see this piece right here that I've already cut, I'm going to connect these 2 sections, and that's going to determine the length that I'm going to cut for the side. And just hold it straight out and slide cut it with the razor. You can use the scissors or shears if you prefer, but this is just my tool of choice. I really love the razor because it really gives you a wispy, free-flowing effect. The hair does not lay really heavy when you use the razor. And so this is our last section that we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and cut that top section. We're going to use a piece in the back again as a guide, and this is going to determine the length that we're going to use for the top layering as well. One thing I did forget to show is how I basically went back and shortened the bangs. So it's up to you how long or how short you want your bangs to be. So once you layer it, you want to go ahead and trim those bangs to the length that you desire to have them. If you have not already, please, if you are finding value in this video, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you'll be notified every time I have a video coming up. So here is the final result. I did go ahead at this point and use some purple shampoo to get the yellow out. You can use any kind of purple shampoo to get the yellow out, and as you can see, it's more of a so as you can see here, the purple shampoo has given it a nice platinum blonde, cool blonde look, and that's the look that I'm going for because most people don't want that 613 yellow hair. So that's basically what we've done. Okay, so right now I'm going in and I'm just texturizing it, point cutting it, just to soften it up. A lot of times these frontals can be pretty thick, so you just want to go in and soften it up so it doesn't lay really hard and heavy. I am also using my texturizing shears, and I'm going in and thinning it out a little bit as well so that it flows really nice and it looks really natural and not stiff and heavy. So you're just going to go ahead and use your texturizing shears and thin the hair out just a little bit. So right now I'm going to show you how I darken the roots. I'm going to use my 20 volume developer. I am using a permanent hair color. You can use semi-permanent, any color you want. I am going to use a dark mocha brown, and that's the color of my choice. I didn't want to use black, but whatever you choose to darken your roots with is perfectly fine. I am mixing the colors and my developer together, and I'm going to go ahead and apply it to my roots. Now I did use my smaller color applicator brush because it just makes it much more easier to maneuver. Sometimes a big brush kind of gets in the way, so I decided to use my smaller brush. I'm going to go ahead and use my comb and just kind of comb it through a little bit. You do want to stay away from the lace as much as possible. My suggestion to you is to make sure that you are slightly away from the lace or the scalp, if you will, when you are applying it, because as it starts to process, it is going to move down towards the lace anyway, so you want to apply it slightly away. Now I am kind of applying it a little bit closer than what I normally would do, and I did stain it a little bit, but I've been doing this for so long, you know, really didn't make a big difference. But I would say if this is your first time, if you're new at darkening roots on your wig, you want to make sure that you stay slightly away so that you can try to avoid getting that color on that lace, because once it's on there, there is no, you can't remove that color. But if you do get it on there, no worries. If you just get a little bit on there, if you get a few spots on, you want to just take your makeup or concealer and just go ahead when you part that and just apply makeup and concealer to cover up the color that you may have gotten on your lace. So right here, as you can see, I am just going through this whole top section. I am only going to do the top section. It is really not necessary to darken your roots throughout the whole wig at all, just not necessary at all. So we're just going to go ahead and just do this in this top section. And when the hair is short like this, you only want to apply the color like a ½ inch. If you do it any more than a ½ inch on short hair, it's going to look really weird. So be careful to only apply it to like an inch out or ½ inch out on the hair. So guys, this next video coming up, make sure you stay tuned. I'm going to totally turn this blonde hair a totally different color, but I'm going to tell you what that color is going to be. You got to watch the video in order to see what color it is going to be. I will leave the links in the description below on parts 1 and 2. I hope you guys watch it, and I hope you've enjoyed this video so far. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you'll be notified when the next video comes up. Of course, this is a result of using the purple shampoo to give it that cool blonde look and the dark roots. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.